I'm Macy Eglund. We begin with a Newsday investigation into Suffolk's Child Protective Services. State data shows that in 2024, the agency reported the highest number of child deaths involving abuse or maltreatment in a decade. Experts say failures to thoroughly interview all family members during an investigation is part of a larger pattern.
You want to get an assessment of the entire family because, sometimes if you're just talking to one individual, you get one side of the story.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the recurring problems that were found with the Suffolk County investigations. Only in Newsday, help is on the way for the cash-strapped South Country School District. It's getting millions from the state, but under one condition. Lawmakers approved $7 million in aid and permission to borrow another $11 million. However, it can't be used to lower the tax levy, which could increase by over 13% if the budget is approved. Lawmakers say this was necessary to keep the district from running out of money. Greek life is coming to Molloy University next year. The Phi Kappa Theta fraternity and Theta Phi Alpha sorority will be the first since the school opened in 1955. They're expected to include about 40 members. Well, thousands of runners are getting ready to pound the pavement for the Jovia Long Island Marathon in Eisenhower Park this weekend. The first race is tomorrow night's 5K fun run. The 10K is on Saturday. The half marathon and full marathon are on Sunday.
I'm very, very proud that we have this world-class sporting event held right here in Nassau County.
And organizers say the festival happening alongside the marathon will be the biggest in race history. Well, if you have lost money, the check will be in the mail. The state comptroller is returning money from forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, or unused gift cards. Checks of up to $5,000 will be sent automatically to verified owners. Previously, residents had to file claims with the state. The Smoky Bones barbecue chain in Lake Ronkonkoma has closed its doors for good. It comes 3 months after its parent companies filed for Chapter 11. Let's talk about your Thursday forecast now. Rain early this morning moves out and we'll eventually see some sunny skies. Taking a look outside right now, though, those wet roads on Newtown Lane in East Hampton. Really a soggy start to your Thursday. However, the clouds will clear out. We'll eventually get that sun. Highs in the upper 50s today. Right now, Friday's looking good, sunny and dry, but we are tracking some rain for the weekend. Right now, we could see some rain on Sunday, cloudy on Saturday. So just keep an eye out there this weekend if you're making plans. Monday's looking pretty good in the 60s, even warmer Tuesday and Wednesday, but we could see some wet weather again on Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on it.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
I'm Doug Geed. A Newsday investigation is finding shortcomings in child protective services on Long Island. State data shows that in 2024, Suffolk CPS reported the highest number of child deaths involving abuse or maltreatment in a decade. Taking a look at one case in Islandia, a 2-year-old boy drowned in his backyard pool in 2024. That same day, Suffolk CPS got a report saying the death was the result of the child's guardians failing to watch him. And it was not the first time CPS was called about the boy's family. A state report found multiple errors in the county's investigation, including a failure to thoroughly interview all family members. These errors are part of a larger pattern.
You want to get an assessment of the entire family because, sometimes if you're just talking to one individual, you get one side of the story, especially if that person or that relative lives with one of the parents that's a subject of the investigation. They might have a very skewed sense of what's going on.
And joining me now, Newsday investigative reporter Peter Ioria, Newsday data reporter Anastasia Veliva, and the gentleman you just heard from, former bureau chief for the Children's Law Bureau for the Legal Aid Society of Suffolk County, Jorge Rosario. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Anna, we're going to start with you. Tell us about the increase in the deaths. So what did you find with all the data?
So from the state, we received the county-by-county numbers of child fatalities investigated by CPS. Those are not all children that died, but only those that CPS had to investigate. And how many of them were substantiated for some abuse or maltreatment. Indeed, the numbers show that the numbers for 2023 and 2024 are high for Suffolk. In total, it was 42 children that died, and out of those, 25 were substantiated for some form of abuse or maltreatment. So, of course, it's concerning. We start asking questions, and the reality is that it's much more nuanced than just numbers. So a lot of them are infants co-sleeping with a parent or a family member and dying as a result of that. It is preventable, and there are efforts to that extent, but still it's happening.
Peter, I know improvement plans are in the work from Suffolk County.
So we obtained a number of these program improvement plans via FOIL, and in a lot of these cases that we looked at, the state was finding sort of recurring problems with how the county was investigating these deaths. The state found in a lot of cases, including the one that we talked about before, that CPS had not properly interviewed all the members of the family. In some cases, they hadn't collected enough information, they hadn't properly assessed the safety of the home, or even in some cases, the safety of other children who were surviving. And so this is very concerning. In these program improvement plans, it requires a response from the county. And a lot of these plans, the county said, we have a lot of very inexperienced staff.
Or hey, imagine a huge thing is caseworkers really carefully documenting so many things, whatever they're investigating.
Yes, it's extremely important when they're investigating that they document, so that way when a supervisor's looking at their work, looking at what's going on, somebody else might be able to add some advice. Hey, let's do a follow-up, especially if it gets documented. As mentioned previously, that you have when somebody goes to a home and they're not interviewing all the family members and extended family members, you have a gap. So if it's annotated in there and mentioned that these are the people that they've interviewed, but there are others that they haven't gotten to yet, then maybe a supervisor can take a look at that and either assist that caseworker or send additional caseworkers to really gather all the information. So then you have the best possible picture of what this family needs. Again, sometimes, as was mentioned, it could be poverty, it could be housing, it could be so many other issues. Right. So if they are able to tackle that because they have a better picture, then I think the children will be much safer.
Now you can read more about this exclusive investigation on Newsday.com.
Only in Newsday, from the day the first set of human remains were found at Gilgo Beach to Rex Heuermann's guilty plea 16 years later, there was one man who captured it all. Newsday photographer James Carbone. It's this week's Picture This. An admitted murderer in the Gilgo Beach killings case.
This guy has no emotion.
We've all seen the photos of serial killer Rex Heuermann in court, and the man behind the lens of every one of them is Newsday's photographer, James Carbone.
There's a lot of times where he didn't look at me, but other times he would just stare at me.
The only still photographer ever allowed into the courtroom.
It was amazing because you could see that picture all across the world.
The Long Island serial killer made international headlines, and Carbone has been on the case, filming this video and taking photographs since day one.
It was almost surreal, like looking at this guy that killed all these people. Like, I never thought, like from 15 years ago, that the serial killer that's responsible for this, that I was covering a scene, that I would now be photographing.
Carbone was the first one on the scene here at Gilgo Beach when the first set of remains was discovered in 2010.
I was listening to the scanner monitor and the police radio, and I heard a call of the Ocean Parkway being shut down. So when I got there, it was like a dramatic scene. They were turning all the cars around from going west on Ocean Parkway, so I knew it was something big.
And it was. 2 days later, 3 more sets of remains are found.
I was like, wow, this is unreal. Like, this is, a huge story. I was there for months and days in and out, like from 7 in the morning to 12-hour days.
Concerns of a serial killer spread within the community, and as authorities backed off that assumption, Carbone kept them accountable.
I didn't say that. Let me just say this.
You said it was a strong possibility that we're dealing with a serial killer on the Ocean Parkway.
For over a decade, there were no answers as more and more bodies were uncovered
So I just figured, yeah, it's a shame, you know. I figured this day would never come.
Until finally, July of 2023.
So when they made an arrest, I was stunned.
Now Rex has been linked to the deaths of 8 women. Their discovery thanks in part to Shannon Gilbert, whose disappearance helped reveal Hewerman's secret.
He could be in jail now, thinking about that every day, saying, oh my God, if they didn't look for her, maybe I would have got away with it, but justice prevailed.
One of the most dedicated photographers I have ever met. You can read more of our Gilgo coverage and watch more Picture This segments on our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. Here's what's up on Long Island. A magical morning for kids at the Sands Point Preserve. The annual Fairy Festival is Saturday. Kids can make crafts, check out a fairy art exhibit, and take photos with the Fairy Queen. The 2026 U.S. Olympic figure skating team hits the ice on Long Island. You can see gold medal winner Alyssa Liu and quad god Ilya Malinin and others showcase their skills at UBS Arena. That's Sunday afternoon.
I love this region with its many famous things. And
Or laugh out loud to Scottish actor and comedian Craig Ferguson. He takes a stop at the Paramount Sunday night on his Pants on Fire tour. For admission information and more events, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box on our homepage. Time now for the best in high school sports. Here's Jared Veluzzi.
It was another entertaining week of high school sports here on Long Island and included some games that went down to the wire. As in flag football, it was Wantagh taking on Glen Cove, and Glen Cove's Michaela Chestnut will leap up and snag an interception. She'll take it to the house as Glen Cove scored 18 straight points, but we're going to fast forward to the last play of the game. Wantagh had one final chance, and Michaela McNeil, she'll roll right and throw a dime to Kayla Mannix as time expires, and Wantagh got the dramatic victory over Glen Cove. And in girls lacrosse, Southside taking on undefeated Manhasset, but Sky Corton with the split dodge and the lefty finish to put up Southside for good. And also in girls lax, East Islip's Kaylee Zumo, the 8th grader, she's going to set up the long righty sweep and finish with a snipe for EI. And in boys lacrosse, Cold Spring Harbor's Alex Vitale, the Fogo. He's going to win the faceoff forward, and the big fella won't be stopped. He's going to score for the Seahawks, and they go on to defeat Manhasset. And in Suffolk County boys lax, it was Gavin O'Brien. He's navigating here, and he'll find Grayson Cabrera for the BTB finish in the Tigers' win. And in softball, East Hampton, they're looking to walk this off, and the freshman Fallon Santalanza will end it as Alexa Schaefer races around third base for the game-winning run. And in baseball, Locust Valley's Liam Baker will get the save. The bases were loaded, but Baker was unfazed. He gets the strikeout, and the Falcons get the victory. As those were the plays of the week all over high school sports here on Long Island. I'll be back next week with some more big-time moments.
And Jared's plays of the week are just part of Sarah Sounds Off. This week, Greg talks Garden City versus Massapequa football. To watch that full episode, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. See more on all of these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see here. I'm Macy Eglint. We've got more local news coming up.
Join Newsday's ultimate travel insider, Carissa Kelman, for a visit to Northport. For a look at artisanal shops, fine dining, and more. Let's go with Carissa Kellman. Check it out at newsday.com/Northport.